Hey boys, hey boys, hey boys, hey boys. Hey Noah, hey Devin, hey Devin, hey Noah. It's your old stepdaddy Fred Hophead and Space Kitty needing immediate attention. Immediate, if not sooner. Uh, I just want to let you know, my buddy, you probably remember Brian, but this is this is I believe we call it the Four Lawyers of the Apocalypse. I think that's what it is, but I'm not sure. I think that guy's got, it's hard to point back. That guy's got Scales of Justice and the Four Lawyers of the Apocalypse. He left it, so it's mine now. But anyways, I wanted to show you another thing I made when I was about 12 years old. Used to be back in the day, and I think you can still do it now. I don't think the kits are as well, uh, uh, they're not as well made as they were when I got my kit. But there was a company called CVA, Connecticut Valley Arms, I think. Oh, by the way, this is brought to you by Squirt Soda. Ask for it by name. It's good with gin and vodka. I'm not drinking, but uh, hmm, uh just got done mowing, which I love mowing. Yep. But anyways, when I was about 12 years old, I saved up my money and I bought a CVA percussion pistol kit. You may have seen it, you may not, but here it is. It's old, this guy here. Old cap and ball pistol. Put your cap, well, it's hard there. Put the cap here, right? Old timey black powder. It's been through hell. I've shot the shit out of this gun. I've shot it and shot it and shot it. I need to take it apart and clean it, but it's a cheaper black powder pistol. You cannot, for example, this pin that holds the barrel, okay? Fancier guns will have like a brass inlay, something like that. And then instead of a brass inlaid piece here, they've just got some cheap little washers. But if you look at the front sight, I made the front sight out of just a piece of round stock metal because the brass sight made it shoot too high. I had to bring the barrel down. But you could load this thing with shot, or you could use a pistol, or just shoot wad in it if you wanted to make noise. You might see this banging around the house, but it ain't loaded. Not unless you can go back in time. I may have some percussion caps somewhere. But I did all the sanding. I'm pretty proud of the sanding that I did. I kept the lines nice. Some people, they over sand the edges, you know, and some people will sand the stock. But if you look here, they won't pay attention to the flushness of the tang, you know. And for 12 years old, 13 years old, that's the guy. That's one of my projects I did. I was so proud of that thing. Yeah, I probably ought to take it apart, clean it up. Anyways, story I've got today, since I got done mowing, I thought about a story, and here's the biggest lie I could come up with today. And remember, these are all fictional accounts. They never happened to me. Not one time. Never one time. So, anyways, This one's called turtle grabbing. Now, there's these TV shows out there where it shows people in Louisiana jumping on alligators and people reaching in the holes and grabbing catfish and pull them up to their damn arms and all that big old catfish. And we would call those crazy people. Us three, me, Noah. Don't do that. Don't reach in the holes in damn rivers. I don't know. It just don't sound. It don't. Use a damn fishing line or go jugging or something. Do some jugging. Yeah, I think jugging's illegal. Maybe you can't do jugging anymore. Jugging's fun. Jugging's where you take little 1 liter bottles and put string and hooks and you throw them out in the cove and just sit around the campfire and drink beer and watch all the bottles go towards the bank and then you go have a fish fry. But I'm digressing. But anyways, in the Piedmont area of North Carolina and probably other places just as crazy, um, there were people, and maybe there are today, turtle grabbers. These are people that go, I'm assuming, not just rivers, maybe ponds as well. I don't know. But they literally reach under the banks and grab for turtles. That is a level of bravado that I just would not participate in ever. Do not go turtle grabbing. I'll haunt you if you go turtle grabbing. But anyways, now it was the summertime, and if I can if I could set the scene, Barton, my sperm donor, comes into the house where I'm at and says, "We got turtle grabbers down at the river. Come on, they're trespassing." Now, since Barton was a part-time lawyer and a full-time asshole, he knew that the river he can't own, but the bank is his. The one on this side is that's his bank. And he don't want people on his property ever. He never wants anybody on his property at all ever. One time, the golf course clear cut some pine wood and they accidentally cut too far on his property, and he must have got $15,000 from suing the golf course. They didn't like him too much, I don't think, after that. But he didn't like the golf course too much either. He wasn't a golf course person. He wasn't a joiner of clubs. Everything he did was. But anyway, he had, at the time, a Yanmar tractor in four-wheel drive. We were cutting wood real serious, and since I was a little kid, he started out on like a little 6 horsepower lawnmower, with little loads first. And that wasn't enough. And slowly his tractors got bigger and bigger and bigger. First it was a little old teeny tractor, and then it was, he parked that one. I think that was oh God, was that it was yellow and white. I forget what brand of tractor that was. I used to play on it because it finally wore out. But then he'd slowly, but then he decided to just get serious. He's like, damn it, I'm going to get serious and I'm going to buy a big boy. And this was a diesel Yanmar tractor, four-wheel drive with cleated tires. It was red and white, or red and yellow. I forget the colors, but he had put so many tricks. He tricked out that tractor like some custom car maker would trick out a car. He had a sheath for his machete, like right next to where his steering wheel was. He could get his machete out if you wanted to. He had it had weights on the front so that the front end wouldn't kick up. It had the uh, split brakes, so you could brake one rear tire or the other if the front end raised up on you. And he had a differential lock on it, and it was a good tractor. The front four wheel drive started leaking though, and he'd have to put the pan. He'd put a pan underneath the front wheel drive, and it was really hard to find parts for this tractor. But he'd put a little pan underneath I believe it was the left wheel. There was a leaky seal, and then whenever he needed it, he'd take the oil, he poured back into he, he poured back into the top, and and he'd drive it, and he'd put the pan under, and whenever he needed it, he'd take the pan, he'd pour it. That's how tractor stuff is. You know how I do with my tractor, right? Yeah. Hush up, puppy. Agnes is all mad because I haven't given her hugs today. So, but anyway, so behind the tractor is a steel ball hitch, and also there's a lift. Now it's not like it's I forget what they call the lift, but there's a type of tractor lift where you move the lever a little and it'll go up a little, and you could move the lever up a little more and move it up a little more, and wherever that lever was, it would go. This wasn't that kind. It was like you pushed it forward to go, yeah, and then you had to push it back. But anyways, he had a trailer on the back that he had made, and that was another thing. He was just uh, he was eat up with making trailers. And so he took one of these old iron wheel hay balers, and he got the iron wheels and the axle, and we built the trailer that he pulled behind it. He had a little green trailer, and then he had this big red one so he could pull up half the woods of the entire planet so he could burn in the fireplace. It was a wood stove with a blower on it. But anyways, so he says, "Come on down with me, and we're going to tell them to shove off." Now he's taking me for backup, and I'm 10 or 12 years old. I don't know. It was the summertime. I was young enough, and on the back of the tractor was a place for a pistol. And on the pistol that we had, it was an ivory handled Colt New Service, probably made in about 1925. The caliber was 4440. It's kind of hard to find that ammunition. You can't just go to any sporting goods store and buy that ammo. And it's a pain in the ass to reload 4440. God almighty. I'd rather reload 45 Colt every day of the week. But anyways, so there's that pistol in the holster on the back seat, and he looks at me. He says, "We're going to go down and tell these turtle grabbers to go on." And he was worried that something might go south because there'd be more of them than him, so I was his backup. So, anyways, he told me, he said, "These guys think they're tough guys, and you need to sit on the back of the trailer." There's a little bench seat right at the front of the trailer you could ride on. I was right behind him. And he says, "If any of them give you any shit or give me any kind of lip or whatever, I want you to grab the handle of that gun and pull it out and put it in your lap." So, anyways, so I'll tell you an associated story about when my brother was alive. But Anyways, we go down there, and we're down there at the river. There's a sandbar, and there's a little waterfall, and you could actually go underneath the waterfall. I really miss that the most. I do. I miss that the most. I hate him the most for taking that from me. Well, not the most. There's several reasons I hate that son of a bitch. But anyways, so Barton, he's uh he's going down there, and he's going to tell them boys to shove off. So he goes down there, and I'm sitting up there on the tractor. Now I've shot this gun. I'm good. I was good with that gun. I could hit shit with that pistol. I was good. It was a big frame. Colt News Service is a big frame revolver. But he was always one for making me shoot things bigger than me. I don't. He. I don't know. But anyways, I shot it pretty good. So he goes down there, and there they are on both sides of the river. And he's like, "Listen, fellas," he says, "I'm not here to ruin your day or nothing, but you need to be grabbing turtles on this side of the river because this side is my side of the river and this bank is mine. And if any of y'all got hurt or got your finger bit off, y'all could sue me, and that's not something I can allow. And I have trespassing signs, and you're trespassing." So sure as shit, one of the guys walked up and kind of squared up to. They were far apart, but he come up on the sandbar. Barton was on that side of the sandbar, and he says, "Well, we've been turtle grabbing this river forever, and ain't nobody gonna tell us, they own the river." And Barton said, "Didn't say on the river. I own the bank. You're confusing this. I own the bank. Y'all drum around the river all you want, but you can't be on this bank reaching under and grabbing turtles on my property, which is this bank." So he moved a little forward. I took the 4440 out of the holster and I put it in my lap. And he saw me, and I had that gun like that. And he saw me, and he looked back at Barton, and Barton said, "You see that little boy right up there?" And the guy's just not saying that. He says, "He's a dead eye with that thing. And you know what? He could shoot a fucking hole in you and he'd never serve a day. He'd never serve a day. Never serve a day in court. He could blow your ass away right now and you'd never serve a day in court." Shit, I wasn't thinking about that. He just told me to pull it out. I didn't know this kind of speech was going on. And boy, all them guys, they got their shit and they fucking moved the fuck out. And that's and that's how Barton used me as backup. So on an associated story, the property that Barton bought used to be a hunting lodge or a hunting thing where three or four hillbillies get together back in the 60s and they buy an acreage of property with a little house or something. They go up there and drink, play cards, and shoot at deer, whatever the hell they do, whatnot, tell a bunch of damn lies like I do, only on. So he found out that all these hunting folks was bickering about how things were going at the hunting lodge. "Oh, did you eat cat shit? You think you pretty? Look at this guilty party right here. Look at this. Yeah, you got kitty litter all over you. Go, 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 go. No, I don't want you. I don't want you with cat litter all. You get out of here. Nasty. You licked me with that damn mouth. But anyways, he figured out a way, as a shyster ass lawyer that he is, he figured out how to sneak it out from under all of them. And he did. He bought it. 15 acres. Beautiful land. He did. He did a good screwing on them. So not soon after they move in. Barton was tickled to pay $16,000 for 15 acres of land and a house. And then, of course, he talked the preacher into lay the cinder blocks for part of the shop. And then he sent me to bricklaying school so that I could lay all the blocks for the addition, the lower part of the shop. Son of a bitch. So anyways, this was back when my brother John was alive. And this was told to me by Velma, my egg donor. Apparently, on sunny days, she'd lay a blanket out in the yard and put John on the blanket with some blocks, sometimes under the oak tree. And she was doing something in the kitchen or something or other, and there she saw some dude with a gun and about 4 or 5 hunting dogs running around in the yard. And she went out there and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm running my dogs." And she's like, "Well, you can't do that here. This is our property. You can't do that." And he, "Get away from me with you now." "No, get away from me now. You know that's nasty." Gotta wash my hands. Here, yeah, take that. Take that. And go. Take that down. Wipe your mouth. So anyways, she's like, "Well, no, you don't understand. This is new. We're the new owners of this area, of this property. And you can't have them up here no more. You can't do this no more." He says, "Well, these are my hunting dogs. I've been doing this, and I'll run my dogs how I want to." And she went inside and got a pistol, and she pointed the pistol at him. And she said, "You son of a bitch, the next time I see you on this property, I'll kill you and I'll kill every goddamn dog you have. Do you understand me?" Probably had a Winston hanging out of her mouth. One of them shoulder burner 120 cigarettes that goes out to about here. I could just see her saying it. But anyways, there's my crazy ass lies today. So I did find some pictures. Maybe next video I'll see if I can focus up a couple of my Air Force pictures. Show you a couple. They might not be around. Who knows what the hell's going to happen to them, but maybe if I put them up here on the big screen, you can at least see them. But this is a short one today. It's Easter, so I took tomorrow off and got Friday off, got Saturday, got Sunday. Gonna play computer games probably. I got my mowing done. I might try to go for a walk. I don't know. Might see. I got a little place to go shooting at now. Shot a little pistol I got here recently. I got in trouble at work gun. I always try to commemorate. It's a cute little guy. SIG P365. So, but what the hell else? Oh, I've been reading so many books. I'm gonna tell you the books I've been reading. I read The Lord of the Rings trilogy, the whole book, all three books. Excuse me. I have somebody that could be like, there's three. It's three books. It's the frickin' Fellowship, and then the Son of a Bitches, and then the Return of the Asshole, and then there's the Silmarillion, and the Hobbit, and then Hobbit's bastard son, and I mean, I'm a third street string geek. I don't memorize that shit like Stephen Colbert does, but it's a good read. But I read Lord of the Rings. I read Papillon. I read Fahrenheit 451. And I read the, oh, is it Arthur Conan Doyle? Did he do Tarzan? But anyways, I read that one about the it's not much. I mean, it's not a long read. It's kind of a pulp read, but it's John Carter, him going to Mars. That was a good read. And let's see what else have I probably told you I read Flannery O'Connor stuff and uh, reading some Hemingway stuff and just reading these kind of old classics that when when you're a teenager those books don't mean two shits to you. Everybody reads The Outsiders. That's their big high school. Everybody reads about Pony Boy and Soda Pop and Jerk 'em Off and the whole Soch versus the Leather Jacket Boys. What a bunch of bullshit that was. But anyways, I wish I was here over Easter. Yeah, I miss y'all both. And this is a short one, about 26 minutes. 20. I'm trying to think anything else. Um, oh, I read The Handmaiden's Tale. Good read. I was really impressed with that. Uh, that reminds me, Devin and Noah, don't let the bastards grind you down. Okay? Don't let the bastards grind you down. Don't let them take you from you, if you know what I mean. Don't make them take that childlike spirit, turn you into a damn cotton head with nothing but day after day bullshit. But anyways, I love you both, and y'all have a good one. And I hope to see you guys really, really, really soon. Bye.